Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown, the unofficial sumo podcast for official sumo fans. Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown. This is Ryan.
This is Jake.
This is Flair.
And Mac once again called us this morning. He told us that he was hot-blooded. He checked it to see. He's got a fever of 103.
That does not sound good.
No.
So he will not be able to join us?
He will not be joining us today. Once again, we wish him a speedy recovery, and we will have him for the review episode. Just so everybody knows, this is going to have spoilers through day 8 of the Basho, so if you haven't caught up all the way, you might not want to listen to the rest of this. But a little bit before we get into the results of the Basho, we have a update on the Gyoji scandal, Fleric.
Yes. If you remember, there was a scandal with one of the Tate Gyoji, one of the top Gyojis.
I think the only Tate Gyoji. The other position was unfilled at this moment.
Right, you are, Ryan.
So this guy was the top-ranked referee in all of Pro Sumo.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. He got into, I think, a sexual incident of some sort with a lower Gyoji. Apparently, he got very, very drunk and ended up kissing him and also touching him on his chest. There's an update on the situation. They decided that he's going to have a 3 Basho suspension. And he also handed in his resignation, and it's expected that they're going to accept it after his suspension.
So what's the point of being suspended before resigning? Is it just
formality, I would guess?
You think so? Just tradition or something?
I have no idea, honestly.
Yeah. Maybe give him time to think if he wants to hand in his resignation after those 6 months, really.
It's possible. I think maybe his name's on the Banzuke as well, and so maybe gives him time to promote some other Gyojis as well. Yeah. I don't know.
Speaking of promoting other Gyojis, I remember like the first day there was a pretty bad mess up in the Kiseno Sato versus Taka Keisho match that I believe it was originally ruled in favor of Kiseno Sato, went to Mono E, and it was reversed to Taka Keisho because it was obviously a Taka Keisho win. And I just remember thinking to myself, well, I mean, if they had their
that guy's not getting promoted.
Yeah, exactly.
The Mono E, by the way, that's when the referees at ringside don't know if the Gyoji in the ring got the right call, so they step in to discuss it.
Yeah, and moving on, we have, I don't want to call it a scandal because it's not nearly on the level, but I can't think of a word.
Breaking scandal?
Mini scandal, a tiny little non-incidental scandal, but Fleric has more details on that. Just happened this morning, I believe.
Yeah, well, it happened a couple weeks ago, but the news of it kind of broke right now. Apparently, Tsunarashi, he's an Egyptian mainstay in the Juryo division. He was involved with a car crash like a couple weeks ago. Everyone's fine, but as you know, rickshaw aren't actually supposed to drive in a car or have a driver's license at all. So it's kind of a big no-no of what happened. That's
part of their traditional lifestyle. Is they just live in their stable and their whole lives are tradition based, so they don't drive and things like that.
Yep.
They have to wear their traditional clothing out there. So. Yeah, if he was driving, and it sounds like that's he's denying it.
He's officially saying that his wife was the one driving.
His pregnant wife.
Very important. But so yeah, he's the one driving. But there apparently is some video evidence that's not the case. But we'll kind of see how it shakes out.
Yeah, we were talking before the show. We should come up with a word to. I mean, because
it's not a scandal.
It's not a scandal, but I mean that's the word that comes to mind. But when we got other stuff going on recently, that seems like the wrong word for it.
Yeah. But moving on, with any Basho, you're going to have some injuries. I say this one's not as bad as our previous few, but obviously the top one is going to be Hakuho. Fleric is a wizard. Predicted that back in our preview episode.
I did.
Like with zero evidence or anything.
Apparently Fleric knows some deep, dark parts of the web that put a curse on Hakuho's toes.
I don't know. I just believe in the Kaku Yusho hype train so much that the storyline of how it was going to happen, I just willed into existence.
And we'll get to the Kakuryu hype train Yusho whatever in a little bit. But yeah, Hakuho pulled out after day 4, losing 2 straight matches, giving up Kinboshis because his toes are fucked.
I bet they are.
Yeah, and this one it happened in training, right? So and there was video of it. He kind of steps on his foot wrong.
Yeah, there's 2 toe injuries actually. It's both of his toes. The first one, like you said, happened in training, of where he literally just kind of went to step forward, but his big foot got caught and just got kind of like pulled underneath it and apparently got swelling and just really, really hurt.
Just a tinfoil hat here. He's not getting paid for this basho, right?
No, he is not.
Because of the previous scandal. Do they always film practice? Because if this is like the only practice they film and they just happen to get a really good view of his foot while he steps on it kind of funny, oh no, I'm going to sit this one out.
I mean, in his defense, Kakuryu also is not getting paid for this basho.
That's true.
But Kakuryu needs to win to actually stay in sumo, though.
Yeah.
So he has more incentives beyond just getting paid.
He had that pretty hardcore warning from the Yokozuna Council.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I will say to that, like looking at it, it looked like it really hurt.
Yeah.
So I don't think he would mess up with his toes, especially because apparently he has a history of hurt toes. I looked. Apparently, there is a video of his doctor talking about him a couple years ago, of where he said, "Yeah, I looked into his toe. Apparently, he had a torn ligament and tendon for a couple of years, of where where he couldn't actually bend his toe up, and it kept on getting dislocated." And Hakuho was like, just tape it up. It'll be fine. And he did that for a couple years during probably 2013, 14, 15, where he was winning a bunch of U shows until
I remember
actually got fixed.
One of I think it was actually the very first basho that I watched in 2016. He was actually out because of a toe injury. I thought it was.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, that was the
that
Aki
makes sense.
basho in 2016 that Goeido went Zensho Yusho.
Yeah, there you go. I mean,
I'm pretty sure Hakuho was out of that one.
Yeah, I mean, how else would Goeido win?
Good point. So joining Hakuho in the Yokozuna Kyujo ranks is
Hall of Shame.
Yeah, Kisano Sato for at least the 5th or 6th straight basho. This one, he's got his pec is bothering him. He's got a bad chest bruise. His pinky's probably sore, and
he's also losing.
He's also losing a lot. He gave up. He also pulled out after day 4, giving up only 2 Kimboshis because his day 1 loss was against Takakeisho, who is Komusubi. So once again, Kisano Sato is out. I can only imagine he's going to get the Kakuryu sentence of do good or retire.
Yeah, they said
a basho or 2, if not next basho.
Yeah, they said there's going to be a meeting on the 29th, and they're going to probably start talking about what to do with Kisano Sato.
Yep. And then another trend that we've seen the past few bashos, Teruno Fuji out after day 2, losing both of his matches.
Oh, it must be his knees again, right?
I mean, that's not the official reason. The official reason is apparently diabetes.
I was being sarcastic because, I thought it was a joke when I heard, I thought somebody was making a fat joke when I heard that he was out with diabetes, but then it turned out to be the case.
Yeah, as far as I know,
that sucks.
That's legit. But he apparently also, Flarik was saying, he's got the flu, and he does have shit knees.
We can't deny that.
They're not good.
But it sounds like he may try to make a comeback day 11. Once again, Flarik has some sort of sources that tells him all of these things. So watch out for day 11. Teruno Fuji will be back.
Well,
mark it down.
He might be back. I'm just saying.
Will be back 100%. Teruno Fuji.
Flarik says so.
And joining him at the Maegashira 10 ranks of Kyujo is Amanishiki. He had a match against Chiyo Nokuni out after day 6, and just kind of banged his leg against the dohyo, it looked like.
Mm-hmm. Official reason is a bruised shin bone.
Yeah, and Amanishiki also may be coming back as well to try to get a couple of wins and stave off going back down to Juryo after his impressive return to Makuuchi.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't get any more wins, he's probably back down.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, from 10, his spot is not safe.
Yeah, because I think he only managed 1, maybe 2 wins before he got hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, just 1.
All right. But yeah, moving on to the Yusho race, the aforementioned Kakuryu hype train
Choo-choo.
is in full force. He is the only undefeated Rikishi at this point at 8-0. He's the first to secure his Kachikoshi. Trailing him at 7-1, we have Mitake Yumi at Sekewake, Tochinoshin at Maegashira 3. So those are the main guys you think will probably win. But you also got Daisho, I believe, at 13. That is also 7-1. Got a few other guys at 6-2. Tochiozan, Shohozan, Asanoyama. That if Kakuryu stumbles, they could all be right in there as well.
you got both those Zekis with 3 losses, so they're maybe not quite in the Yusho race. Every time I say that, I think of that song.
Yeah.
But no, they may be still in the running for competition here. There was the 11-4 Yusho just a couple tournaments ago.
I don't see Kakuryu stumbling that much.
I don't either, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm less sure than I would have been before last September.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking about Kakuryu is I've been really impressed with him this Basho.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
He's looking like he was back in November of 2016, the last time he won a U-Show.
The last time he really competed for more than a day or two, right?
Yeah. Well, I think he did all of January, but
Yeah.
all of last January, but that was the last time. But yeah, I think it's, for me, Kakuryu is probably the favorite, but we'll get into that a little bit more.
Why not now?
All right, fine. Let's get into it now. Yeah, so I definitely see Kakuryu taking this, but I think that hinges on his match with Mitake Yumi. That'll be coming up sometime in the next week. He's the other guy that I kind of have as, well, Mitake Yumi and Tochinoshin are kind of neck and neck for Jun Yusho, in my opinion. But Tochinoshin's already lost to Kakuryu, and Mitake Yumi has a chance to knock him off there.
Yeah. It's going to be, I agree with you. Mitake and Tochinoshin, those have been the 3 that have been really impressing me. And we already know how Kakuryu Tochinoshin's going to go. How they went, the Kakuryu ended up winning with that one. But the Mitake Kakuryu is going to be a very good match. And if Mitake can get a loss off of that, that's going to be 3 people with the exact same score. That'll be kind of really cool.
Yeah, I would love to see a multi-man, like more than 2 playoff on day 15.
That'd be pretty interesting. We haven't seen that before,
No.
Yeah.
at least in our year and a half or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say, though, we've seen Mitake stumble and get a loss and look a little shaky a couple days. Kakuryu has been very, very solid the whole entire time.
Well, Mitake Yumi's lone loss came against Ichinojo, who's learned that he can just lay on top of people until they're tired and then just kind of...
then just lazily walk them out, escort them to the side.
Yeah, exactly.
I do want to say about Kakuryu's style is I've heard it described as reactive sumo, and just kind of watching his bouts, I've been kind of seeing that he has a solid defense.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
definitely.
It seems like he just kind of withstands anything what people throw at him, and then he just kind of goes, okay, now I'm done with it. You're done with that? I'm just going to push you out, I'm going to throw you.
Just today against Shodai seemed like he had a really good charge and was kind of pushing Kakuryu back right at the beginning, and then just Kakuryu kind of just sidestepped, threw him off to the side.
He's got a handful of those just effortless Yokozuna-like wins,
Yeah,
and those
definitely.
are always impressive.
Yeah.
A couple where it looks like somebody who doesn't know what they're doing at all.
Yeah. Some other impressive performances, not really for the whole Basho so far for Hokuto Fuji, but he does get his 4th consecutive Basho with a Kinboshi, and he gets the Yokozuna set because he got Hakuho before Hakuho pulled out, and he had previously gotten one over Kakuryu, Kisano Sato, and the now retired Haruma Fuji.
That he did. He tied the record of Tosa no Umi, who also got 4 consecutive Kimboshis and 4 Bashos.
But nobody's ever gotten 5, right?
No, because I think they always get promoted to Sanyaku. But
Yeah.
Hokuto Fuji might stay in Megashira.
Yeah, because he's 2-6 right now.
He's not doing well, so...
Yeah, but I think he's just finished up all of his matches against the people in the Sanyaku ranks. So he has people that are going to be below him for the remaining week. So I imagine he's going to end up with a Makikoshi record, but he should get enough wins to stay within the zone of death where he'll have a match against the Yokozuna with a chance to extend that to a 5th straight Basho with a Kimboshi.
Assuming there are any Yokozuna.
Yeah, exactly.
Very good point.
Kakuryu's still got half a tournament to get through.
Mm-hmm.
Kisano Sato, I mean, he just hasn't recovered at all in his last year with injury. And Hakuho, it sounds like Hakuho is probably back next time, but we don't know that for sure yet.
Yeah.
His toe does look pretty bad. If you pull up the Tachiai.org site, there is a picture of his left toe, and
It's at least the
It's bigger than
thickness
it's
of
supposed to
3
be.
toes.
Yeah.
indeed.
A couple other guys towards the bottom of the Bansuke that have made their debut this Basho. Abi and Ryuden, I think both like 5-3, 4-4 around there. Both of them kind of impressing. Both 5-3. Abi's been looking pretty good with his pusher thruster game. Ryuden's been looking pretty good. He's still got his 10 wins are available to him if he wants.
I guess so, if he wins all the way out.
Yeah.
Well, I think he clearly wants it, but
Well,
yeah.
true. It's still available to him.
He mathematically can still get
Yeah.
10, yeah, for sure. And Abi, similar to Onosho, you can kind of see his youth when he tries to go all out on offense and overextends, gets slapped down or gets stepped to the side of, stuff like that. I've noted it a few times as we've gone through, but he's looking pretty good.
All right. And so that's going to kind of wrap up our discussion for the most part about the Bansuke at this point. But
I would actually like to talk about Tochinoshin a little bit.
we
talked about
really
him at all.
haven't hit on him. He has been pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's been, like you said, really impressive. And I've been noticing, like, when he's healthy, he is just a force to be reckoned with.
He seems
so
like he has the
strong.
most strength and power to just pick anybody up and march them outside of the dojo.
Yeah, he's definitely his style is like, he's like a pure example of like the Mawashi grip style. And that's working really well for him. It's just a joy to watch.
Yeah, I think the other thing about Toshinoshin that I like, because he's so pure of a grappler, you can kind of learn a lot about how the grips work and how different grips give you different leverage. I've tried to keep an eye on it the last couple of days, just how he grabs an outside grip when he has his one outside, one inside. I think he likes left outside. Is that correct? Maybe either way. But when he gets it, it's basically a death sentence.
Yeah.
Like he just immediately is in control. You can see how he uses that to his advantage and just lifts guys up as he escorts them.
Yeah, you saw that in the Guedo versus Tochinoshin. As soon as he got his grip, it was just over.
Yeah, it was a matter of time.
Yeah. And before we head off to break, one more thing that I just remembered. I feel like Takeyasu's kind of back from that injury that he kind of hampered him for a couple of basho. I feel like he's got definitely the strength on the Tachi is back. He's been blowing people up, and then I feel like he's not fading nearly as quickly. And he's got 3 losses at this point, but it's not like the kind of losses that he had when he was injured. So I definitely feel like Takeyasu's kind of back in form.
He's clearly back at his Ozeki level. Yeah. He's picking up mostly wins. I don't think he's in any danger of a Makikochi putting him back to Kadoban status where he could lose his rank. But like we talked about earlier, it's unlikely that he'll be in the conversation for the top title, but he's been performing very strongly.
Yeah. All right. And with that, we will finally take the break we've been promising for the past couple minutes. And when we come back, we'll kind of give an update on where our predictions stand at this point, have a few fun facts, and the lightning round.
Ow! I've been to Watanabe and I can't get up.
Sumo is a rough sport, and we all know how injuries pile up. So what is an ailing sumotori to do? Introducing absurdly bulky joint tape, the only tape that can double your durability and leg diameter. An immobile leg is a healthy leg, so just apply to your sore joint and start wrapping. Keep going. More. Just get a whole shitload of it on there. More tape. We're talking miles of tape. I didn't say you could stop. More.
More.
Absurdly bulky joint tape. Ask your doctor today.
All right, and to get us started back from break, we're just going to do a quick run-through of the prediction series. Right now, the only confirmed points, Jake and I have 1 point for correctly selecting Kinboshi. He had Hokuto Fuji, and I had Yoshikaze. I think I should get 2 points because Yoshikaze has 2 Kinboshi.
We'll take that under consideration and deny it.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Of course.
And then other than that, it's really kind of anybody's race. It looks like Kakuryu, Flair will probably get a point for Yusho, but obviously we still have 7 days to go, and he only has a 1-day win, so that could go anywhere. Don't think anybody's going to get a June Yusho point. I'm not for Hakuho. Onosho's already got 4 losses. Goeido's got 3 losses. Takakeisho has 6 losses.
Yeah, if anybody's getting a point there, maybe I might get one for Goeido, but I think the other 3 are just kind of out of contention.
Yeah, I think the only thing where we're looking pretty good at is Kachikoshi for people below Megashira 9. Mac chose Shohozan. He is 6-2. I chose Abi. He's 5-3. Fleric had Ryuden. He's 5-3. Jake had...
We don't need to talk about that.
Jake had Sokokurai, who is, 2-6?
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah.
See, he's got one more win than he should because Ishiura got screwed today.
Yeah.
So
he
Kokurai's
got
knee
robbed.
was clearly down before Ishiura was down.
The fact that we are all massive Ishiura marks is completely irrelevant here.
I will say the video evidence was pretty clear on
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
knee was down. I will say, but I talking about Kokurai, like I'm actually really surprised where he is because his first 2 days he looked so strong coming off a Juryo Yusho before, but these last couple days he just seemed to fall apart.
Yeah. But with Mac seemingly losing his guaranteed point of a Hakuho Yusho, he has sent in a letter to us that he would like us to read. It reads, "The sumo gods are testing my faith. They have seen fit to remove any guaranteed points from my path. My creativity and punishments must be more pleasing than the prospect of my victory. I curse their wisdom, but accept my road to glory will be a long one." Some profound words from Mac there.
A very long road. It seems like he is in line for a third straight potentially.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
There's a long ways to go, but
none of us are doing well. But
Yeah.
I think Mac has gotten screwed by the Hakuho injury. It looks like Tochinoshin is not going to get him a Kinboshi point.
Tochinoshin cannot get him a Kimboshi point.
Yeah.
Right. And
Abi's still going to get 3 special prizes, so I'm pretty hopeful about that.
okay, here's a completely hypothetical that will certainly never happen, I'm sure. Tochinoshin, what if he and Kakuryu tie, and then Tochinoshin beats him in a playoff? Would that be a Kinboshi?
I could only assume, yeah. I mean, he beat a Yokozuna. So I
don't
guess
know.
we
That's a
cannot
very
take
good question.
Tochinoshin off the table quite yet. That is a very good point.
That seems like the kind of
But
thing that
then-
would happen just to like screw up our plans.
Yeah.
Because that's what everybody's going for here, right?
Yeah.
Everybody cares about our series and how it needs to be screwed up.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, we do for sure.
All right, let's move over to Jake for kind of a quick update on how our fantasy series is looking so far.
It looks like this time the first overall draft pick Hakuho is not going to turn into an automatic win, and actually our guest Eric is in last place out of the 5 of us. Our guest Eric has 17 points. Hakuho obviously pulled out. That was his big pick. Amanishiki, Sokokurai, and his Juryo pick Osuna Arashi have all really let him down so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got hit with 3 Kyujos. That's awful.
Yeah, so that sucks. That's rough, but maybe we're going to beat our guest for once. Woo! That would be pretty cool. Yeah, and just a little bit ahead of him is Mac with 22 points. Tochinoshin is carrying his team with 7 points. Next is the Fat Five. That's Ryan's team. Ryan actually has a couple decent guys. He doesn't have anybody getting a ton of points, but nobody's slacking too bad either. Shohozan is in the lead with 6 points for him.
Yep.
Just a couple points ahead of him with 27 is my team. I have Mitakiyumi, Takayasu, and Abi, and Endo, actually, all getting me 5+ points. So I'm doing okay, but not quite as well as our runaway leader, leading the pack by like 11 points here with 38 is Flarik's team. He's got Kakuryu, he's got Goedo, Yoshikaze,
Yoshikaze
Asanoyame.
with his 2 Kinboshi getting him bonus points.
Yep, Asanoyama getting him 6. Yeah, so Flarik is the runaway leader this time. And
Kakuryu's pretty good.
he's all right.
He is.
Yeah.
He's not bad.
This would be Flarik's second fantasy win, I believe.
It's not over yet.
No, we can call it right now.
Flarik,
okay with that.
Flarik did win in September before we introduced guests, and
Yeah.
and 100% of the guests so far have destroyed us. But
Yep.
it looks like Eric might be breaking that trend. Sorry, Eric, but not that sorry.
Yeah.
We came up with this game. Hopefully, we can win at least one of them. Also, our sumo power rankings. We've been keeping these live. You can find a link to our blog. I try to update it every day as soon as we watch the matches. But these are rankings where we assign Rikshi a certain value, and depending on who they beat and who beats them, the points are transferred between Rikshi. And,
It's all explained in a bonus episode.
we do have
did
it. Yes,
few weeks ago.
bonus episode. I believe bonus episode 3. So that there, it's lots of complicated math, and being a nerd, that's my favorite thing in the world. But the basic system, about 1,000 points, is an average Rikshi. So, for example, Endo and Takufuji right now are right at 1,000 or so. If you lose matches, you lose points, and if you lose a lot of matches that you're supposed to win, you could end up at the bottom. Unfortunately, one of my favorites, Ishiura, currently has the low score of 833 points.
But if justice would have been served and Sokokurai had lost today's match, as he rightly should have, Sokokurai would be the lowest scoring.
Right, and Ishiura would be in the 850s or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for reference, if you're a 50-50 win is about 10 points.
Just out of curiosity, Takekaze, where is he at?
Takekaze actually came into this basho with a decent score. He's currently at 863. He was above 900 coming in, so he had a little bit further to fall, but he's by the end of this basho, if things keep going the way they are, if Ishiura is doing okay, but Takekaze keeps losing, that'll probably switch. Up at the top, we, of course, have Kakuryu. He came into the basho with not that great of a score, but his 8 straight wins have him at 1086. He's doing great so far, and hot on his heels with 1084 is Mitake Yumi. We also, just based on their rankings, we can determine a percentage chance that they have to win, and that tells us how big upsets are when they happen. So a couple of the bigger ones that we've had so far are when Hakuho lost to Hokuto Fuji and Yoshikaze. Those were both 16-pointers.
Funny fact about the loss to Yoshikaze. That's the same person where he had that Mono-e incident in Kyushu.
That's right.
Yep.
So that's like 2 incidents. Watching Hakuho's match, he was definitely injured, and he also kind of looked like he slipped a little bit, probably because of his toe. 2 matches where I feel like Yoshikaze just got an easy win against Hakuho.
Yeah. So the way that this is set up, I mean, the math only cares about the results. It doesn't care if it was a really big win or whatever. But enough of that nerdery. Ryan, why don't you take it here?
Yeah, we're gonna move on to our patent pending lightning round.
Grand Sumo Breakdown Patent Pending Lightning Round.
All right, so I'm going to start with Fleric, and let us know just who's impressed you the most so far.
I got to go with Tochinoshin. When he's healthy and strong, I feel he's Ozeki material.
Yeah. What about you, Jake?
I have to say Kakuryu, and not just because, a Yokozuna going, taking the early leads, not a big surprise, but I did not expect him to be so healthy and dominant.
Yeah, and I got to go with Mitake Yumi. He's a Sekewake, so you kind of expect this performance from him, but he hasn't had a double-digit winning record since last January, I believe. So he's definitely putting together his best basho in a year. Why don't we start with Jake this time, and who's disappointed you the most?
I got to say Tamawashi. He's only 3-5. He's not doing terribly, but he's been at Sekiwaki before and done well, so I'm kind of disappointed so far.
Yeah, for me, it's going to be Hokuto Fuji and Takakeisho, the 2 of our favorites, both with 2-6 records, not faring so good against the rest of the Sanyaku ranks. So hopefully the second week will be a lot kinder to them. What about you, Fleric?
I will go with Sokokurai and Takekaze. Sokokurai, he just came off a Juryo win. In the first 3 days, he was really, really strong. But then he just, like I said, he just kind of fell apart. And Takekaze is just not looking good this
He doesn't have the
now.
mobility that he needs for his style.
Definitely in danger of going down to Juryo. And then start with me for favorite match of the basho so far. For me, it's got to be 2 of the up-and-comers that just came from Juryo, Abi versus Ryuden. It was a match that Ryuden looked like he should have won it at least twice, but Abi was able to be agile on the edge of the dohyo and eventually throw Ryuden down to the ground.
Yeah, it was a really good match. It's one of my favorite.
Yeah.
My favorite match was the Goedo versus Tochinoshin on day 5. It was, like I said, talking about being impressed by Tochinoshin, like it was kind of a battle for the Mawashi, and as soon as he got his grip, it looked like he was done, and he just kind of powered him to the edge. And Goedo looked completely helpless.
Goedo was able to hold on for an impressive amount of time, though.
He just gripped it with his toenails there and stuck it out.
That's a very good point. That's my other favorite thing is, like, he didn't go, like, just without fighting. Like, he definitely tried to get a little leg trip, like, right at the end. And I was like, oh, man, that
made it a
cool.
great match, not just one guy's performance.
Mm-hmm.
Mine would be day 1, Ishiura versus Asanoyama. Or, sorry, Yutakiyama.
Okay.
I'm a sucker for great Ishiura matches, and that one was just exactly his style. When he's on, and when he gets a certain type of guy who can't move with him, can't plant their feet quick enough as he's moving laterally, he gets real impressive wins. So nothing against Yutakiyama there, but I love that Ishiura match.
Yeah, joining the pantheon of great Ishiura matches, such as Ishiura versus Takara Fuji back in September, I believe.
I don't remember that one. What was that?
The one where he was behind Takara Fuji and had a hold of his belt. And then still got beat.
Yep.
So what matchups coming up in the next week are you guys anticipating the most?
I thought we were going to talk about who's going to win the whole thing.
All right, fine. Let's talk about that. Let's actually do it in the correct order. Jake, who do you think is going to win the whole thing?
I can't. I don't want to, but I have to say Kakuryu.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with Kakuryu.
I really want to, and I'm going to say Kakuryu.
Choo choo.
Choo choo.
Mitake-Yumi and Toshinoshin are behind him by one win, and just even just based on their performances, other than their records, I think they're close second place.
All right, Fleric, now do you want to tell me what matchups you're most excited for?
Well, going on the whole, what was I going to say? The matches for the Yusho race coming up. Big one that's coming up tonight, actually, on day 9. Tochinoshin versus Mitake-Yumi.
Oh, yeah, that'll definitely be big. Give one of those guys 2 losses.
That's like a number 1 contenders fight kind of a deal.
Yeah. In the same vein, assuming Mitake-Yumi goes into it with 1 loss, but Mitake-Yumi versus Kakuryu will definitely be a match that will have very large implications going forward.
I got to say Mitake-Yumi versus the 2 Ozeki. Not just because of this current Yusho race, but because I am... that's my hype train. Mitake-Yumi, I think he's going to be the next Ozeki, and I want him to prove it against those two current guys.
All right, with that, we'll move on to a quick Jake's Fun Facts.
Jake's Fun Facts.
We don't have a whole lot of them for you, but we thought we'd get a couple Midway facts here. A couple of the guys that the lower division guys that we like to follow, Waka Ichiro, the American from Houston, he's 4-0 in the lower division. The lower divisions that only have 7 matches in a basho, meaning 4 wins is his Kachikoshi. So he's
much better than last time.
Last time he went 1-6, which was too bad, but he's showing that it was a fluke.
Yeah, he's currently in the lowest division, I believe. No, the one above the below Joni Dan. So hopefully
second from the bottom.
Hopefully this get to Sandanme.
Sandanme, yeah, he was in Sandanme last time, and then he went 1-6. But it looks like he'll probably pop right back up into that division.
All right.
So good for him. We hope for the best, and he's got 3 more chances. Maybe he'll get a share of the Yusho there. Enho, Hakuho's protege, guy in the same stable, been rocketing up the rankings here. He's 2-2, kind of a slower start, but it looks like he may be on the bubble for getting towards Juryo pretty soon here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think apparently one of his wins during this basho was against Joko Ryu.
Oh, the guy previously who started 21-0 in his career, right?
Exactly. He's the one who gave Enho his first loss during his whole entire time. And this basho, he actually came back and he won that one. So he got some revenge on that.
He's a super young guy, but he's already got a little bit of a storied rivalry there. That's pretty cool. Another fun fact that popped up while we were watching just in the last couple days, Kiseno Sato and Koto Shogaku, they have actually faced each other 67 times. And Koto Shogaku has the slight edge, 36-31. So if they came into sumo at similar times, they worked their way up through lower ranks at the same time. They were Ozeki at the same time for quite a while.
Yeah.
So effectively, it's like they've faced each other every single basho for the last 11 years. That's got to be
ridiculous.
I can't think of anybody who would have faced off more against each other in the top divisions. That's got to be, if
it's
not
up there.
it's very close to the top.
Yeah.
As far as most matchups against each other. Last one I have here, we have Taiho's grandson, who's going by Naya, and we have Asashoryu's nephew going by Hoshoryu. Taiho and Asashoryu are both legendary Yokozuna in their time. At the time that they were wrestling, they were the top guys, and now they have some descendants who are just entering sumo. They're in what's called Meizumo, which is effectively like amateurs trying to get into the professional ranks. So they have kind of unofficial matches, and as long as they get 3 wins next tournament, they're going to be on the Bansuke in the lowest division. So they actually faced each other, and Taiho's grandson Naya beat Hoshoryu, Asashoryu's nephew.
And it was actually a pretty good match.
Yeah, I saw a video of it. They both look promising. Naya is enormous for his age. Most guys, when they come in, are smaller and they put on weight as they go. He seems to already have that pretty much under control.
He's got plenty of weight on him.
There's a whole lot of Naya.
Yeah.
Fleric, you had one for us?
Yeah, just kind of a rule thing that I learned this basho when I was watching the Tochinoshin versus Takayasu. That's one where it's kind of really close, where it looked like Takayasu was pushing him out of the dohyo, but Takayasu was falling at the exact same time, and there was kind of wondering like who won what, but it ended up going Tochinoshin's direction. And one of the reasons for that is technically the rule is like anything other than the sole of your feet touches the dohyo, you're actually you're out. And if you watch that replay, you actually kind of see the top of Takayasu's foot, like toe, actually touch the dohyo, and that kind of counts him out right there.
Okay, so it was almost you could almost argue that it was kind of a technicality almost.
Yeah.
Well, it was a great match, and I mean he certainly deserved the win, but it wasn't as dominant as it could have been.
Yeah, it was definitely very close, and it kind of looked like he was pushing him back. But I will say, like, you can definitely tell his heel was not touching. Well, you can't really definitely tell, but it very, very much looks like his heel did not touch at all. But you can kind of definitely see the top of his foot touch.
Interesting.
All right, and that's going to wrap up our discussion for the first half of the Hatsu Basho. The Basho ends on January 28th. On that Sunday, so you can look for a recap episode around the 30th or the 31st. And if you like this podcast, you can go to iTunes or your favorite podcast service and leave us a review and a 5-star rating.
You can find us on Twitter at GSumo Breakdown or Facebook at Grand Sumo Breakdown.
You can check out our blog, grandsumobreakdown.wordpress.com, for Fantasy League and Power Rankings.
And if you have any comments, corrections, or questions, you can shoot us an email at grandsumobreakdown@gmail.com.
Mac does that one better.
He does, but I did it better than the last time Mac was missing.
That's true.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Skol Vikings.
Thank you for listening to Grand Sumo Breakdown. Until next time, throw your salt high and keep moving forward.